this sermon, when your Jordan is too deep. We have to learn to stick to God's plan, and we have to learn to do things God's way. And we have to pay attention and be watchful so that we can cross over our Jordan. There are many times that we cross into areas of concern and we have things that go on in our lives, and it seems like it can be so deep sometimes that we're just going to drown. But I'm here to give you some encouragement this morning that when you cross over your Jordan, if you follow the path that God has for you and the path that God has carved out for us, then we'll walk through on dry ground. I come here this morning to instruct you and encourage you from the Word of God that we have to leave our location sometimes of comfort and get yourself together. That's the first point. Listen for instruction. Don't deviate or step away from God's plan, and pay attention and be watchful so that you can keep your distance from the things that may cause you to fall or the things that may cause you to be distracted. When your Jordan is too deep, God can part your Jordan so that you can cross over to your blessings and the land of promise that God has already promised us. There are a lot of things going on right now, and there are a lot of things that have transpired. It seems like peace is elusive, and it seems like peace is impossible to some. But I come here to tell you that with God, all things are possible. You may have turmoil going on in your life, but when you may have sickness going on. But what I want to tell you is that when your Jordan is too deep, God can. When your Jordan is too deep, God can give you that peace that passeth all man's understanding. When your Jordan is too deep, it can cause worry and concern. When your Jordan is too deep, it can cause you to toss and turn at night. It can cause you to have some sleepless nights. When your Jordan is too deep, God can. Because the same God that was then is the same God today and forevermore. When your Jordan is too deep, God can give you the relief that you're looking for. When your Jordan is too deep, that should cause us to trust in God all the more. When your Jordan is too deep, I want to encourage you that there are some things that we have to leave behind when we cross over our Jordan, because sometimes we try to take our burdens over to the blessings that God has before us. When we walk over into the land that God has for us, and when we walk out of our Jordan that may be too deep, and God is parted the sea, I'm here to tell you that there are some things that you have to leave behind. There are some cares that you have to leave behind. There are some concerns that you have to leave behind. There are some friends that you have to leave behind so that you can walk in the path that God has for you. When your Jordan is too deep, God can. We look at this lesson, and this lesson teaches us many, as the old people say, many great things. And it encourages us all to walk in the way of God. Israel was sentenced to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. And we know the story, but those 40 years are now up, and those 40 years have expired. And the children of Israel are poised to now walk into Canaan land. They've already inherited